Alright, this may be one of the dumbest things I've ever built. Maybe I should do a tutorial for it. G'day folks, it's Cortezerino, about to do a face plant, but we're okay. The Guardian Farm is up and running. So I might keep the rockets in my hand just in case I accidentally walk off the edge here. But yes guys, I designed this Guardian Farm just the other day and put out the tutorial, and then last night I went and built the thing and we've AFK'd all night, and I am absolutely shocked at how powerful this tiny little Guardian Farm is. You remember my 1.13 no drain Guardian Farm? It does 6 double chests per hour. This one does 4, although I think I might have actually gotten more than that when I AFK'd last night. See, I haven't bothered putting the portal up here to get myself up because I've got another portal just down there on the ground, and so yes, it's just quicker for me to fly up here. And just in case you're wondering how I found an ocean monument so quickly, well, any of you who've got the world download would know that I've actually, if you've been for a wander in the nether, you would know that I found this thing a long time ago, because all the sea pickles I've been using in my time lapses, this is where I've been getting them from, and this is why I chose this ocean monument, because we've got all the lovely coral just over here. So I've got my portal in the middle, and I'll probably keep it there. I kind of want to build something on this little outcrop. It could be nice, maybe a lighthouse or something. Haven't decided yet. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. There's no way into the farm that way. We have to go through the portals. And has anyone else noticed this bug? If you look down at my hotbar there, you can see my hearts and my hunger. But where is my armor? I'm wearing it. Whenever I go through a nether portal, that just disappears, and I'm not quite sure if the game is still recognizing that I'm wearing armor. So what I always do is like take some armor off, put it back on, and all of a sudden it appears. But yeah, I'm just worried without those symbols there. If I get hit by a ghast or something, is it going to kill me? I have no idea. Anyway, the reason I said this could be the dumbest thing I've ever built is this is a design that I've used before in a Guardian Farm. It is pretty cool. We've got an item sorter right there, and as soon as it filters out an item, it goes into a little dropper observer combination, and it gets spat into lava and it gets destroyed. I just think it's dumb because I have a feeling there is a much easier way to do this. I haven't seen anyone invent one yet, but yes, it's like, if I can't figure out a smaller way to do it, I'll probably do a tutorial, because this thing is super good for Guardian Farms, because we have so many items coming in that one chain of hoppers can't handle it. All the items will back up behind it. So I've got 4 of these item sorters all side by side, filtering out the cod. So we're not keeping any of the cod. It's all getting destroyed, and everything else comes down the chests into the storage. But yeah, it filled up. I AFK'd for about 9 hours. And even without the cod in there, it's just all filled up. I can't open that chest up the top there, and I've got another one on top of that, but they are probably full as well. And check this out, I've stacked up a lot of my ink sacks in the bottom here so I could get a few more items come in, but this thing makes more ink than my squid farm, than my dodgy squid farm that turns out I didn't need to build. Now I've got this. But yes, it would be really nice to get all these puffer fish out of here, but I'm not quite sure if without the cod can one like stream of hoppers handle this now. But that's what I want to test right now, is if I put all the items from all 4. See, I've got them all coming down separately into their 4 different chests. They're all 4 different hopper chains, but if I combine them all into one, can this thing handle it? Do we have too many items coming in is the question. But that's what I'm going to try. But first, I need to craft up some of this junk to get it out of the way. And I got to say, I really do like having the prismarine shards and the crystals coming into the same chests. Like, I've made the Guardian Farm on a server before where I separated them, and you're just constantly going back and forth between chests while you're trying to craft your sea lands. But here, having them together, it is so much easier. So it's probably not good for a server to have them all mixed up like this, but definitely on single player, it is so good. And we can also, with the squid ink, we can make our dark prismarine while we're at it. And I don't think I'll bother making a proper tunnel out to the Guardian farm because I find I just keep flying there. It's so much quicker. So I might replace my little stone road with a line of sea lens just to mark the way. But yes, I think this will do it. So you've probably been scratching your head in the beginning of this video thinking, what's Cortez talking about with the storage room? He's already done the tutorial for it. Well, when I was talking about that, when I was recording that, I hadn't figured out the storage design yet, but I have now, and I did a tutorial for it. So that design that I was saying I wasn't too sure about, that it might be dumb, that's because I thought it was just a tiny bit too big. But then when I had the idea of putting the other items into the droppers on the end to destroy them, then it turned into a super cool design, and I was very, very happy with it. So this is what I've done. I've got all my goodies coming down this side of the room, and then just extra storage for all my crafted blocks over here. And I'm actually going to need... Where have I got them? Got them? No, I must have taken them back to base already. That's another thing we are doing. I have designed a new base. And have a look at this. So this is something I didn't consider when I did the tutorial. We've got lava dripping, and I've got Optifine turned on at the moment because I'm about to put my shaders on. So I'm not actually sure how to turn the particle effects off with this, but yeah, that's why the screen is a little bit jerky at the moment because of all our soul sand. Better to turn off the particle effects. But there is something else I've been working on, guys. Oh yes, and I realised when I said before that I think I was getting more drops than the 4 double chests worth. And then I started talking about not having my nether portal up the top there. You see, if you've got extra blocks in the same chunk above your farm, then that can cause failed spawning attempts up there and actually lower the rates. So it's better not to put your portal up there. But I did the tutorial with a portal just for people who hadn't been to the end yet and didn't have elytra. But anyway, the other thing I have been working on is I have designed something, but not for this area. You see, I wanted to build something here out of prismarine because I had all the blocks now, but I got carried away because the best theme to build in when you're building with prismarine is, I think, Japanese. So Japan has some cool lighthouses, so I was going to build a little lighthouse here, and then I thought, oh, I'll design a building to go with it. And I started playing around with funny blocks like we're building with cakes, guys. Cakes of all things. But yes, I got very carried away and designed something way too big for this little outcrop. So we're not actually going to build it here. And I've whacked the shaders on because I want to make a point of always putting the shaders on now when we are in a pretty area. And you may remember this place from very, very early on in this season of my single player world, and it's very unfinished. This is the flower farm. You chuck some bone meal in the barrel and it just starts automatically, and I don't think I have any bone meal to even show you at the moment. No, there's none in there. Oh, and some people have said, oh, you've got all your seeds coming in here. That's no good. You should have put a filter in there. Well, I actually want to keep the seeds because I love planting huge wheat fields when I build farms and stuff. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. This is where I want to build my Japanese building. So we're going to turn this into a Japanese themed area. And I'm not sure if I want to put it up on the hill or over here. I might end up doing it just over here if I have enough room, which looks like I don't. I don't know. I will figure it out. But yes, I said we are building with cakes, and I have none, so I have to go get some resources. And another reason why I want to build out here is because I haven't got a nether portal out here yet, and it takes a long, long time to fly out here. Plus, anyone getting the world download would be looking around. Well, they probably wouldn't be looking around for this place. There's not too much to see yet, but yes, they would never find it. And did I mention I am moving bases again? See, originally it was this thing, the oil rig. This is where we were living. This is my starter base, and I've still got the villager trading hall underneath. But I think I've still got a fair bit of stuff in the storage here, which we need to clear out and move to the new area. But yes, we moved from here over to my first Austrian house that I built in the mountain village. So this place, I'm really going to miss it. But yes, we are just running out of room for storage in there. It is pretty tiny. So I have begun on the final base. Well, I think it's going to be the final base. That's where I'm building my item sorter. And we're not going far, because when I'm doing time lapses and I realize I am missing an item, I don't want to have to fly away too far to get it. So we are just over here in the mountain, and I've dug myself a tiny little bit out of here. Let's go around the side, actually. Ouch, that hurt. I gave myself way too much headroom. I kind of miscounted. So yes, we've got lots of headroom when I'm building the redstone, but this is going to be my new item sorter. We're going to have a Nembon multi-item per chest item sorter at the back here. And then on the inside, this is what we've got. So it's going to be cool. Each of these is going to be your regular kind of item sorter. And I'm using a bit of an old Psycraft design to get this to work. But the cool bit is all these chests at the bottom have a little overflow system. So this is where I'm going to put all my bulk items, like your stone and your cobblestone. So all these chests have a second chest behind them. So we've got 2 chests worth of storage, but once they fill up, all these items in the bottom row will go down here, and I've got to rig up some water elevators so I can get up and down to a bulk storage area. So that is pretty cool. And I really like the floor in this storage room. There's only a 2-block gap between the floor here and the bulk storage below, but I've managed to fit in a few things. You've seen this one. I did a tutorial for it the other day, so we've got our hidden workstations underneath. But then I've got this one here, and this is just so I can put shulker boxes down, and then when I'm done, I can just hit that and they'll all break and I can just run along and collect them. This here is pretty interesting too. Let's break a few blocks. Probably a bit hard to see in the shaders, but I have, now I've got things flowing into the hoppers. I've put a shulker box unloader in the floor here. So I took a design from Nembon and looked at how it worked and then squished it around so I could fit it in the 2-block gap. So you just put all your shulker boxes, your full shulker boxes in the dropper there, press the button and everything goes into the system. And another thing I'm doing with this system actually, like these multi-item per chest item sorters can be super laggy. So I'm going to send all the items through your normal storage first, and then they're going to sit here in a bunch of chests, and a little light will come on to say you've got items sitting there ready to go. And then when I'm ready for the lag, I can just whack a button, and then they'll start filtering into this one. So anyway, let's replace the floor. Oh no, how many hoppers have I got? Here it is. Let's fix this up and go get some cakes. And it is not far from my mountain village over to my dodgy spawn area that I've done nothing with. It is looking pretty awful out here. But this is where I'm planning to get the cakes from. And we may have to sleep. The sun is setting, and this is a pillager hotspot as well. We're sandwiched in between 2 villages here. So the pillagers love to come and visit us. Let's have a nap and get to work. I think I remember what you need for cakes. It is milk. So I got my cows there. I'm going to have to wait for my wheat to grow. I think it's wheat and sugar. So I've got my sugar cane. And once we get tons and tons of cakes, probably 2 sugar boxes worth, we are going to go do some Japanese building. So I did decide to build this on the hill in the end, but what I didn't realise was that this hill is actually right in the middle of a pillager highway. We had about 4 patrols come through while I was building that. That was great fun, but you know, this actually didn't take very long to build at all. It looks complex, but it's really not. Oh, I thought I could make that jump. Oh well. It's really not that hard to build, but it did take a long time simply because I didn't have any of the resources I needed. I had the bone blocks, but I didn't have any kelp or quartz or what was the other one? I got red sandstone fences. Let's jump back up there. So I don't know if you noticed as I was building it, but I got, red sandstone walls in there just for something different. Nice little bit of a pattern there. So, yeah, had to go get some of that. There was lots of things to get, and there are so many weird blocks in this thing. Like, the kelp isn't too weird, but yes, the red sandstone walls, the cakes, look at them. They look pretty awesome, actually, so you can't really tell unless you're up close that they're cakes. I just really liked that pattern with the red and the white. I think it looked extra good for this kind of build. Yes, it definitely fits in. A little bit weird using cakes, but it is super cool. But the really weird one that during the time lapse you're probably thinking, what is Cortez doing with those mushroom blocks? That is crazy. Well, if you saw the photo of the building that I based this on, you would know exactly why I've used those blocks. I saw the picture and I'm like, oh wow, they have mushroom blocks in real life. It actually looks exactly like that. So I thought I'd throw them in, but yes, it is a super cool little building. I still haven't lit up my nether portal, but that's what I've got to do now. I'll do that off camera. I have to light this up and link it up to the rest of my nether tunnels and do some sort of an interior here. I don't think I'll go too crazy, but I'll throw something in just so it doesn't look too weird. But yes, this is basically just a portal room. So I can come out here to my dying area, which it might be my dying area considering all the pillager patrols, but this place is for getting dyes. So we've got all the flower farms here. I've got to build a few more. Like this flower here that I use for getting blue dye. I only get a tiny bit out of this farm. So we need to make another flower farm somewhere where I can get more of them. And I'm also, in all this space and all these flower farms, I've got like 8 of them. I never got this flower here, and that's my favourite, this little white bent over one. So I need to find another spot where I get the little white one with some blue ones, and yes, make some more flower farms. And we can figure out what other sort of farms using dye I can fit into this area. But this, yes guys, is going to be our new Japanese area. And you were probably screaming it to me earlier, Cortez, you need chicken eggs to make cakes. Well, I know that now, and I have a brand spanking new chicken farm that I can get lots of eggs from, which I will probably never use again, but that doesn't matter. And you know what, now that I'm here, I'm not quite sure about those oak stairs going up to my building. I may have to replace them with andesite. We will see. I just threw them in because they matched the path blocks, but I'm not quite sure now. Anyway, let me know what you think. But that is it for today, guys. I've got a lot of work to do, linking the portals, finishing the interior to that place, and then it's back to my item sorter because we are still moving. So until next time, guys, cheers. I'm Cortezerino. I will see you later.